Hey everybody, I hope you are all doing fabulous today. I have a layout for you featuring some gorgeous sequins from Spiegelmom Scraps and a cut file from Cut to You and some of this beautiful Simple Stories, Simple Vintage lemon twist line, and we're going to play with this cut file. So my initial plan that I'm going to start working on, I didn't like it, so I changed my mind. First, I'm going to start by backing some of these frames. I will link this cut file up in the comments down below. I think it's called a doodle frame cut file from Cut to You. Once I have all but two of my frames chosen what I want to put in the background, I'm going to back those. And then for these last two frames, my plan was to create a flat shaker. Now, I've done this before. I did it on a carousel, and I loved it the first time, but this time, I don't know, it didn't look great. So I'm going to start doing it. So I'm going to start by kind of sandwiching some sequins between the acetate, letting it dry, kind of playing with it a little bit. Right now I am right now what I'm doing is just putting the acetate down on the cut file. So you put the acetate down on the cut file, let it dry for as long as humanly possible. And then you put a second piece of acetate down, leaving a hole to put your sequins in. And again, leaving all that dry for as long as humanly possible. So I'm going to get all the gluing stuff down here right now. And then while that all dries, I'm going to work a little bit with my photos, choosing what I want to do with them. I know I want to back them. So I'm going to start by matting them both with two pattern papers from Lemon Twist. I'm going to do one with this black paper and then one with a teal paper. I was trying not to make this layout come out too yellow. There is a ton of yellow in this collection. I'm going to have a ton of yellow from my sequins. So I'm kind of backing the papers and trying to pull in more of the teal and black. So I have these two adorable photos of Ella, and she's picking dandelions. I'm going to go ahead now and fill the sequins, or fill my shakers with sequins. This works. I've done it before on camera. I've done it a bunch of times, and I don't know why I didn't like it this time, but I didn't. I'm going to choose this black kind of polka dot paper as my background. We're going to do a black background. As soon as I put the photos and the cut file down on this black polka dot paper, I was like, yes, that's what I want to do. And it looked so striking. I just love how it looks. So that is going to be our background paper. Next, I decided I wanted to do just a little bit of easy stamping. So I'm going to grab some of the stamps that come with this Lemon Twist collection, and I'm going to do a little bit of stamping in some of those frames. So I decided where I wanted my photos to be first, because there's no point in me stamping if I'm going to cover it all up, right? I'm also going to go ahead and choose a couple embellishments and where I want them to go. My idea behind this is this. These foam thickers are really, really sticky, and I thought if I got a couple of them down on the background, it would give me some anchoring pieces, so that when I pull this cut file up and put it down and pull it up and put it down 500 times, I have something on my page that's going to kind of tell me where to place the cut file. And actually, that's going to be this big floral piece that I put off in the corner. I'm going to just leave that there, and then that's going to help me to know how to place my cut file so I don't get lost. So I'm just taking some Brutus Monroe Detail Black Raven ink, and I chose a couple of stamps that fit really, really nice in those doodle frames. The stamps that come with this collection are pretty small. So having this frame cut file worked really well for being able to add some stamping detail and have it make sense size-wise with the rest of my layout. And so I chose that little floral piece at the bottom, and then I chose this butterfly and this cute little bee. And then I think I do another bee too, yeah, because I'm going to put my photos down and be like, oh, I have that little corner too. And again, as I lift stuff up and put stuff down 500 times in this layout, these little stamped pieces are going to give me a guide as to where I want to place my photos and where I want to place the cut file on the page, things like that. So now I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to fill my shakers up and seal them. I'm going to let them dry, and then I'm going to decide that I don't like them and that they weren't doing it for me. And then I had another great idea, something that I have been kind of wanting to try and play with for a couple of weeks, thanks to Missy Whitten and Brianna Lepper. So I think I'm still messing with the sequins right now. I'm still messing with the shakers, but those are going to disappear. But I've left this in so that if you wanted to do this, you could, and it would be awesome, but you don't have to do it because I'm going to do something else. So yeah, I'm just going to kind of flatten these out. It's like making a little clear sequin sandwich. Okay, here we go. So this is where I tore it all apart. Now I'm going to play with some mixed media, just a touch. I am taking some Prima light paste and my finger, and I am just smooshing some of this light paste into the paper and around my layout in different areas. This light paste, it's a little bit more opaque than gesso. So if you've ever watched Missy Whitten, you know she does this with gesso and then puts the watercolors on top of it to kind of get that gauzy look on certain areas of her page. I am going to do something similar. I want to kind of dull down some of that very harsh black and white dots. Also lighten it up a little bit. I don't want to do the watercolor over the top though. And I want my little gauzy pieces to be a little more opaque. So I chose this Prima light paste because it dries somewhat clear and somewhat gauzy, but more opaque than gesso. I hope that makes sense. I just wanted a little bit of that gauzy feel behind my cut file. So I'm just doing this with my finger. And then, so Missy Whitten's been doing this, or Missy Whitten and Brianna Lepper, they do those glass beads where they take the paste and they kind of put the paste on sections, and then they put the glass beads down. Well, I was like, I want to do this, but with sequins. And I actually commented on that on one of Missy's layouts on Instagram. And she's like, yes, do it. And I thought, well, you know what? This is the perfect time to do it because I want to play with these sequins. I don't like the shakers. So what I'm doing is I'm taking some of that light paste. I'm like smooshing it into the frames. And then I'm taking the sequins and just kind of dumping them down and then kind of pushing them into the paste. And it stuck beautifully and it worked so good and I love it. So it's like making these little like clusters of sequins, like little accents. So cute. So you're probably going to see me do this again. For sure. In fact, probably this month when I do my sequin secrets layout with Christy. So yeah, I just let all of that dry. Oh, and I sprinkled sequins on the paste then because I did it on the frames and I thought, well, let's just do it on our background paper too. Why not? So before the paste was dry, I went ahead and pushed some sequins into that paste too. I actually didn't pay attention. I just kind of threw them everywhere and then pushed them down with my crystal katana. And they worked really good. But when I go to make the layout, you'll see I'm going to have to add a couple more sequins because some of these are going to get covered up. But that's all right. So you can see here, now everything's dry. So we have that gauzy look, and it's a little more opaque than when you just use gesso, and a little bit more textured, which both of those things are awesome because I'm not putting anything on top of this. If you have ever taken one of my mixed media background classes, you know that I like my mixed media to be a bit cleaner and a bit controlled. And so that just tends to be my mixed media style when I use it. And if you want to take my mixed media background class, there's 2 of them, and they are included in my YouTube Perks membership. You get immediate access to both of the classes, the entire class. So that could be a fun little summer project or fall project for your crafting. And we teach lots and lots. There's tons of stuff in there. But I love how this turned out. It worked so good. Thank you. Huge shout out to my dear friend Brianna and Missy for being awesome and showing off their amazing skills on YouTube so that I could try them too. So once everything is down and dry, you can see there, that bottom one, I covered up most of the sequins, but it's okay. We're going to come back to that. And now we can put the layout together. That didn't take long at all. You guys, this layout took me like most of a day. It was terrible. I did all that work on those shakers, then decided I didn't like them, then pulled them all apart. Just so you know, it's not, even for us professionals, it's not always as easy as it looks on YouTube. We do all this crazy stuff too. So I am just going to go ahead and document or embellish now. I am going to use a lot of the puffy stickers or these kind of foam thicker pieces because they were working for me. I liked the extra dimension. I wanted to use those bees, and there were bees on my page, so I just put the bees on top of the bees and made them more dimensional. I'm going to look at the stickers, but I'm probably not going to use too many of them. This collection is becoming a bit heavy on paper and really light on embellishments, which is kind of not a good thing. But that's okay. I'm not going to go shopping for more embellishments. And that's where we're going to finish this one off. Thank you so much for joining me today. Have a wonderful, wonderful, amazing, awesome weekend. And I will see you guys all back here. Actually, I'll see you back tomorrow. So talk to you then. Bye.